Everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2011. We are now into April, and we have just finished the international break. I will get over to the news for that in a moment. Some bad news, unfortunately, regarding Fernando Torres, as per usual. These are the important dates in April. I also have a few things to catch up on, which I'll talk about in a moment. As you can see, we play Birmingham soon, in a moment, in fact, on Sunday. This is what this episode will cover. Then Marseille, Wigan, Charles Atange will come back, and I will give him a slap in the face and then tell him to fuck off. Marseille again at the away leg. We then play West Ham, the crunch game against United. That could very well decide the title. Mark Kelly could come back and might throw him back into the team. And then of course we play Tottenham again and possibly the semi-finals if we get there of the Europa League. Dalglish has finished his assignment. I'm going to have a look at this properly soon. He highly recommends Gomez and Vedran Choluka, which is fair enough. But there's a problem with that. He's kind of at my transfer budget, and I don't think they would sell. I'm going to look at these other news in a moment. Yes, I can see that. I'm going to have a look at this. Salomon Kalou has won Player of the Month. Really wasn't expecting that. Well, I'm sorry, you can knock Kalou all you want, but I'm sorry, I've just brought in a player, and within 2 months of him arriving, has won Player of the Month. Knock him all you want. I don't care. And the last bit of roundup thing I have to do. Javier Aguirre, by the way, who of course was at that time going to be taking my place for some reason when the new owners came in, has now gone to Arsenal. I don't know what happened to Wenger, but yeah, he's gone. And the last thing we do here, as you know, all my backroom staff have left. Unfortunately, that kind of thing has stopped now, and I've brought in a new youth coach, and that is Fulham's now older. Of course, he is still the current in real life youth coach. That is Hugh Jennings. His name popped out at me. He was one of the few applicants. There's about 10 applicants, I think we had. One of the few people I recognised, so I went for Hugh Jennings. Recognised his name. I think he's a good coach, apparently. Let's have a look at the training report. Gerard Aguirre and Kalou trained well. Aurelio Count Wilson have failed to impress. Whatever. Let's see. Danny Wilson came second in the Young Player of the Month. That's very interesting. And Tom Cleverley came third. Let's have a look at the Goal of the Month. And it is, we don't have one. But let's have a look at Pablo Barrera's goal against Sunderland. A marvellous goal from the right wing as he dribbles the ball from within his own half before scoring a well-struck effort from the edge of the box. We'll have a look at the other two, since it kind of takes the piss with the loading and the waiting and the everything. But let's have a look at it. Oh, West Ham won 3-2. That is interesting. Let's see them. Good cutout from Barrera, and he's open, really. Well, how's the finish? Oh, it's a nice finish. I wouldn't call it a goal of the month exactly. I think there's probably going to be better, but you never know. What? He's been... What? Really? Arsene Wenger has won Manager of the Month, but Aguirre has just taken over. I came second again, and then Ancelotti came third. But what about Aguirre? He's the manager of Arsenal. So what's Wenger then? What does that make Wenger? Oh, the manager of Seville. Wow. That is interesting. So you may notice here, by the way, in the little search bar, I've got Terry Mack. I tried to bring in a few ex-Liverpool players who I think we should have brought in, and that is Terry McDermott originally. He's someone who I feel should have come into... record the loss. That's not too bad. He should have come into the coaching staff. He's one of the few Liverpool legends of yesteryear that actually hasn't come into the coaching staff of current. Raul Morales, yeah, of course he's been dropped. They struggled, so that's set another 4-5-1, and I think that should do it. Jared Bruner's there. Alex McLeish, thank you very much. Zigic, I'm going to send Sammy Lee, since I hate dragging these things on now. Lucas remains ineffective. It has to move into channels. Never mind. I also tried to bring in Peter Beardsley. He is a coach at Newcastle. Fortunately, he rejected me as well. And I couldn't really think of any more previous Liverpool excuse me, legends to bring in. So I just went with Hugh Jennings. I was trying to see if I could swap Dalglish from being a scout into like a coach, but unfortunately that can't happen because he'd be... Well, obviously, I think he would be a great youth coach. I mean, he was the ambassador for the youth team for a while, so which is as good as being a coach. But now, of course, now he's the caretaker manager. But he's did a fine job. Unfortunately, he's only a scout in this game. It's quite ironic, really. In the next one, he's going to be a fully fledged manager. Probably the thing is though, if he does stay for the next season, and then we come into Football Manager 2012, if you take over as Liverpool, which probably I will do in the new game, I'll probably will be doing a Let's Play for that as well. But I'll get onto that sort of thing in a moment. If you take over, it'll be like Jubb has ousted Kenny Dalglish as manager, and it's like no one would ever oust Kenny Dalglish as manager. The only reason Dalglish would ever leave would because he stepped down. Dalglish would never be sacked. He would never be wanted to be put out by the fans. Nothing like that. So it's kind of weird in that way, but that's what happens, when you start these things. It's all really weird. But I think one thing I probably will be doing now is, if you know your wits about it, you will immediately bring Dalglish back as your assistant manager, because he will be a coach on that game, I have to assume now. So and you'll absolutely bring him back as another assistant manager along with Samuel. Imagine that, you got Dalglish on one side, Samuel Lee on the other. That's a great partnership, that. And of course yourself. It should work, provided you're a good manager. And it's still going through all these bloody internationals. I tell you what we're going to do, because these files absolutely take up chunks on my computer. I'm going to go pick the team. And good, everyone signed the new contracts. Excellent. Carragher and Kyrgios have all signed new contracts. That's very good. And oh Christ, really? Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to pick my team, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So, Birmingham versus Liverpool. Fernando Torres is injured, unfortunately. I don't think he's going to be injured for too much longer, but unfortunately he, as per bloody usual, picked up another injury, this time on international duty, so Ryan Babel will take his place. Glenn Johnson comes back after recovering from his injury. Jamie Carragher is still suspended. He's serving the last game of his 2-match ban. Raul Morales was recommended to me by my assistant manager, will be a new assistant manager now. Sorry, it usually is Angel Valles, but he has fucked off, so it was Sammy Lee now. Raul Morales is in poor form, so I should drop him, and that's fine. Charlie Adam and Gerrard retain their central midfield spot, with Lucas just behind him. Joe Cole and Kaut on the left and the right. So they still have Hleb, which is interesting, since he is now at Barcelona. Oh, sorry, no, he's not. No, that is a total lie. That is absolute rubbish. Depends when this one comes out. He may have actually gone back to Barcelona. Has he gone back? I can't remember. I heard in the news the other day he went back to Barcelona. I don't know how true that was. I might have just been reading some bogus article, but it said he'd gone back to Barcelona, or he doesn't want to stay a bit. I don't know. Anyway, listen. Let's go on with the game. This is a potential banana skin, since we aren't playing Fernando Torres, but we've coped without him before. We should hopefully do well this time. There's Babel anyway. See how he's perfectly capable, as I say. It's a little bit laggy today. I don't know why. Still, it's better than what we used to seeing. Let's see then. Where are we? How are we doing here? Steven Gerrard is offside. I was going to say, yeah, it's slightly laggy. Still skipping a few frames. I'm not too sure why it's doing that. It's smooth and then it's laggy. It's kind of weird. Oh well, never mind. We'll stick to control right now. Steven Gerrard with a shot there. Can't get it on target. So I think this is going to be one of those nullish games where it's like, what one goal may decide. As you can see, we're on 5 attempts at the moment. Birmingham haven't had but one yet. We're half an hour in nearly, dominating possession at the moment. Now, I don't know when this is going to be released, mainly because I'm a bit ahead of you guys. I'm doing a load more since over the next week or two. As I talked about in previous videos, I have exams. Certainly at the time of recording this, I may have finished them by the time I've done this. I think until the very start of May I have one essay remaining, but I'm not panicking over that. I've got plenty of time for that, and it's only a 1,000-word essay, so it's not too drastic. But it's as I say. Oh, Babel's in. That's 1-0. There we go. If I do, fail to upload a video, maybe over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll probably make up for it by uploading 2 a day. I probably will start uploading 2 a day soon. It depends on how many I'm able to record in one go, because it might be one day I'm doing this, the other day I might be doing 3. And one day I might only get a chance to do 1, and then if I have a chance to do 6, then I'll record 6, and that's the week. Kind of thing. So we'll see in the future, but for now, Wow, we are dominating. Wow, absolutely raping the shit out of Birmingham. Oh, and Foster dropped it. Oh, it looked like he dropped it anyway. But as I say, you know, we'll get on with it. I'll just make do and mend, so as the old adage said. And Ryan Babel there. Well, he's filled in for Torres. He's got his goal, so he's done well so far. He's done what I asked him to do, and that is score. Can't complain. I think this is going to be Birmingham. That's not even the first chance, because Reina just catches it straight out of the air. Now let's see what we can do here. And again, Joe Coley's been very, very good today on this right-hand side. Sorry, left-hand side, I should say. And we have another corner. Now let's see. Can Skirtle or Aga add to the? Oh, and Aga nearly did as well. So yeah, it's going to add to their totals. Now I keep meaning to say I need to check Aga's stats, but I always forget. As you can see, Birmingham have not had a single shot, and we've had 12. I'm just going to say pleased. And they all seem to be okay. So I understand that condition is not true. That's the initial condition that they got at the start of the game. So I don't know why I thought that. I was like, why are they all 100%? That's impossible. Anyway, still going on all-out attack here, and Babel just against the side netting, as you can see. Do you think? No. Well, it seems to be working. I was going to say change it to control. Sorry, to attacking, but control seems to be working fine. They have not had a single shot. Let's see, 59 to 41. Speaking of which, that reminds me, this is part 57, isn't it? I called last part 57. I might have edited that out. It depends. It depends what I do. And Lee Bowyer. Oh, hold on. He's already been booked. He's off. That's wow. Well, at least Gerrard's okay. That's what matters. But and Hleb is injured. Well, that's Birmingham's chances gone. Absolutely gone in this game. If we get a second goal, that will ultimately kill it. Totally forgotten what I was talking about. That has absolutely distracted me, and Gerrard pulls off an awful effort there. But they are now down to 10 men. Their talisman, Alexander Hleb, has been sent off. Well, they've had one effort. It's better than nothing. So they're down to 10 men. We've got to exploit this now. I think if we go attacking, I want to kill the game off completely. Even if we get a second, I'm going to keep attacking on. Glenn Johnson veering forward. We're just absolutely going through them like a knife through butter, and how on earth we didn't score there. I don't know who that was. I think it was Babel. Didn't score. Hit it straight to Foster, but never mind. We're going all out attack, so as I say, down to 10 men. This is where I think I can relax a bit more than someone usually would when they're winning 1-0. You know, it's always quite a tense scoreline. It's never a good scoreline to have. 1-0. It's obviously better than 0-0, but it's still difficult to watch. And Konchesky gets a corner. I thought he was offside for a minute then. We're piling on this pressure and we're having shot after shot after shot, but fortunately I don't think this corner is a highlight, which is kind of annoying. Is it? Because the game's through? No, maybe it is. I don't know why it does that. It'll stop and then go back to the information screen, and like as if there's no more highlight. And I don't know why it does that. Anyway, as you can see, these are blacked out. I don't know why that happens, but there we go. It's a bit weird. Are we still? Lucas gonna have a shot? No one's having a shot. There we go. Gerrard wins the corner. Absolutely, this is domination like I've never seen anything in this game. And Aga nearly coming in again. He could have had 2 this game. That's a throw-in. How many shots have we had? 18 to 1. And they're at home. You wouldn't think it, would you? Ferguson dived. Let's see then. Stephen, look at the conditions. Are fine. Absolutely fine. Who's 80 there? There's 2 80s. I will take Kaut off for Jay Spearing. We'll swap Gerrard there. Sorry, not Adam. We'll swap Gerrard. And Charlie Adam, Morales. That'll do. Double substitution. Okay, we have a corner. And we've hit the post, and Foster keeps a hold. I think Charlie Adam just hit the post. That's 20-20. Bear in mind, it's still 1-0. If they can get a sneaky counter attack here, that's got to be a penalty. It's just that little split screen frame there where it stops for a second, then it's a penalty. I was going to say they could get another one, but I think this would kill the game off if Gerrard scores this, and he does. He slots it into the corner, and that's 2-0. That must clinch it. As I say, that's 27 games that defeat. Bit of a tenser game, this one. Not your average victory. It was a bit different, and a good penalty right into the corner, totally away from the keeper. And I think that's that now. Gonna tell them to, if they let me, tell them to take a break, but take a breather. But to be honest, the game's gonna play out anyway. So, well, as you can see there, 22 shots to 1. Also domination. Didn't really break a sweat, most of them. They were fine. Can't complain. And that's a good set up for the Marseille game. And as you can see, Manchester United are still winning. They're still ahead of us, only within the game, of course. That game in hand is that is how they're ahead. But let's have a look at the news very quickly. Liverpool hammer. It wasn't really hammering. It was, well, yeah, it was actually. I think the scoreline isn't necessarily hammering, but the stats would admit that it was. Let's see this. A controversial penalty. Really, the game was over though. Let's be honest. 10 men, no Hleb. I don't think they were going to win. Harsh. Oh, fine, whatever. Who cares? And we'll send Samuel Lee again since this has gone on too long. Kalou did well for the Ivory Coast, and David Amu scored once again. I am telling you about this lad. Might start playing him near the back end of the season if we've won the title. Touch wood. I actually did touch wood there. Touch my desk. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this game today. I will join you for... Sorry, I hope you will join me, rather, for the first leg in the Europa League quarter-final game against Marseille at Anfield. My name is Chubb, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.